Welcome to Live Wires for the Win Season 4. 10 live wires will be given the unique opportunity to share their creativity with the world and become the next top live wire. I'm your host, Heather Boyd, and this is Live Wires for the Win Season 4. 5 weeks of wire art challenges count down to one winner of the grand prize, a collaboration video on my YouTube channel, a $100 gift certificate for my Etsy shop, and $200 in supplies and tools from Beadalon. Your judges will be wire artist Heather Boyd and multimedia artist and author Patricia Srigley. Viewers will have the opportunity to vote for their favorite creations and give feedback on the work. Hello, Live Wires. Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to episode 2 of Live Wires for the Win. Welcome to our judge, Patricia Srigley. Hello.
Hello.
Back for another go at it. This is lots of fun doing this each week and seeing what everybody creates. It's always such a delight to see everybody's imagination and the things that they come up with. And every week we have a different theme. So last week we actually started with 13 participants and we wheedled it down to 10. And so this week we are actually going to eliminate 2 to go down to 8, and then each week it's going to get a little bit trickier, so you guys stay tuned. And as we announced last week, we have something new this year, which is our wild card participant. So even if you're not coming back next week, you'll still have a chance to participate in the finale. We will still be sending out the themes to people that are going home this week, and they will have a chance to send me their photos, and we will collect all the photos, and at the end we are going to choose one person to come back for the finale. So that's super exciting. This week's theme is These Boots Are Made for Walking. First we have Laura, and she writes, "When I saw the caption for this week's challenge, a pair of 3D witches boots popped into my head. As Halloween is fast approaching, I felt it a fitting subject matter, and of course the orange and black color theme ties in great as well. The caveat with these boots, though, is they are only used for walking when she's forgotten where she's parked her broom. The 3D boots are made using my versatile messy wrap technique, using 16 gauge and 18 gauge utility wire, 20 gauge and 18 gauge aluminum craft wire is used for the bows and laces. The boots are approximately 5 inches toe to heel." So first we're going to start with Laura, and Laura sent a few pictures of her piece. Here's the first photo showing the boots with the broom, and then another view of the boots and the witch's broom, and then Laura's holding the boots too, so you can see the scale, and another view showing the lacing and the bow. So let's go back to this picture. And Patricia, what do you think of Laura's work?
I thought her submission was really fun, and the shoes are just so witchy with their black points and big laces. Yeah, and I really liked the broom. I liked the straw end and how it's wrapped, and the handle of the broom being twisty, and the black and orange color was great. And it is very appropriate to Halloween. So yeah, I thought these were just great.
Yes, I agree with you. I really love Laura's piece. I love how she incorporates her signature style of wire wrapping with it, and that she also included the broom, which is a little bit different as well. I love the wispiness of the straw in the broom, very Halloween like you said, with the Halloween colors and everything, and a great three-dimensionality in the piece. I really like the way they're very solid, very Halloweeny. It's true. It's great for October, which we're October now. And the laces too. I love the little wound wires for the laces. They looked really good. So overall, a great piece. And I like that she included the broom and the boots to make a complete piece for sure. Amy writes, "This week was a fun one. I could have gone in so many directions here, but couldn't resist the song for my inspiration. I present to you in full Nancy Sinatra fashion a go-go boot pendant. I put a psychedelic twist on it with lots of different designs to really amp up the era. What a time to be alive. Enjoy. Materials used: 19 gauge square copper wire, 21 gauge half round copper wire, 20 gauge silver coated copper wire, and 18 gauge brass jeweler's wire. I ended up putting a finish on the copper wire. I used liver of sulfur to add a little extra depth and a vintage look. So here's Amy's piece. This is before the patina, and then we're going to move it over here, and here is after. So you could see the colors look more antique-y in the second one. I'll start with Amy's piece. Yeah, I thought this was a really lovely piece. I think it's very professionally done. I like the variety of elements in the boot. It looks kind of steampunk. It's got a really cool kind of feel to it. And looking close, I see there's actually a peace sign there. So that's really interesting. And the little swirls. And then she wound up the heel of the boot as well. So overall, I think it's a lovely design. She chose to make some jewelry, which is always nice. We always seem to have a little mix of jewelry and wire art, and yeah, very pretty. Definitely a wearable piece for sure. And Patricia, what did you think of Amy's piece?
Oh, I really liked it. Yeah, I love the shape of the boot with the big heel and it's solidly wrapped. And it's so decorative with all the patterning and adding the patina, the different colors. And yeah, I just really loved it and I would wear it. And I thought it was wonderfully done.
Nice. Yeah, the style is really great. Yeah, very fun. Good job, Amy. Linda writes, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I used to work on horse farms. One of my favorite boots were too expensive for me to buy. They had a lot of filigree work on them, flowers and twine, and I just loved them. So I tried to recreate what I remember. I started with an 18 gauge copper wire frame and used 22 and 26 for some of it. So next we have Linda. So here is her boot before she filled it in. And oh, I didn't even notice she has a little thing on the toe. That's pretty cool. And then we have it on the white background, and then we have it on the black background. So I find sometimes wire shows up better on a lighter background, just so it won't get really washed out. And here you could really see the colors and the copper wire. So Patricia, what did you think of Linda's piece?
Yeah, I really liked the liveliness of it. Like all the designs have a lot of movement and nice shapes and lots of colors. So yeah, I felt this boot looked very lively and I did like that. And again, it's a nice boot shape being the lower boot that you could wear out with tight jeans.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, very well done.
Nice. Yeah, I love this piece too, and I loved her description that it's very nostalgic. So this pair of boots that she coveted when she was younger, and I remember that feeling. I remember when I was a kid, I had seen, ironically, a kind of skirt that was very Western-like with kind of a Western belt, and I remember having buyer's regret that I never bought it, and but it's so funny how we have these memories, and then bringing back this memory in wire. I found that really super interesting, and how she started with the outline, and then she probably just went. It looks like she maybe just kind of freeformed what was going inside of it, and the balance is nice. She's got a lot of details, but the composition is really nice, and a nice, interesting mix of colors, of textures. She's wound a red wire around the silver wire there. She's got a flower. I love all the little details, and the squiggly lines are always make it more whimsical, and the little coil along the bottom to make the sole. It just gives it a nice kind of finished look. So great job, Linda. Peggy writes, these boots are made for walking, and that's just what she'll do. For week 2, I made a lady walking in her boots. The stand is 16 gauge wire, Body base is 18 gauge wire. Dress, hair, boots are all 26 gauge wire. She was fun to make walking in her boots. I really love this week's theme. So next we have Peggy. I'm going to pull up the pictures. So this is this cute little girl standing with her hair, and now we're going to go through. There's a side view and the initial structure that she built around. So I'll start with Peggy's. I actually thought she was really cute. Of course, it was Mimi's favorite. She loves dolls, so she was immediately attracted to this one. And I love the way that she did make it more massive. She started with the base and was able to bring it to make it more three-dimensional, which is not easy. And to give, each part of the figure dimensionality. And then the hair was really nice too. It was nice and loose little bangs and nice long hair and different layers of hair as well. And the funky little dress. I just thought it was super fun. It was more on the abstract side. I love it when people do their own twist on the theme. So it was nice to do something a little outside the box, and it could definitely represent the singer Nancy Sinatra that sang the song. It's super cool. I mean, maybe even it was based on a dress in one of her videos. I looked at the original music video with her singing with her little go-go dancers in the back. So it kind of fits with that vibe. Patricia, what did you think of Peggy's?
Yeah, it's different from the rest, which is always interesting. To me, this was an ambitious piece. It's very solid and it looks fairly large and has a lot of different wires and movement. And I guess the thing I liked best was the fact that these boots are black, so they really
Mm.
stand out in her big black boots while she's walking along. Good job.
Super cute. Great job, Peggy. Stephanie writes, these cowboy boots contain 4 small scenes of different places I enjoy walking. A park trail represented by the tree and bush with a path winding up the road, a cactus set representing a desert, a beach umbrella for walking a shoreline, and a city skyline at night for after-dinner walks on a night out. I used 14-gauge bare copper for the 2 boots and 22-gauge enameled copper color wires for the scenes. So yeah, next we have Stephanie, and she sent us a single photo of her work. And Patricia, what did you think of Stephanie's piece?
Yeah, it was nice that she made a design that was personal to her and represented things from her past and things that interested her. And the design of the boot, where one is in front of the other and you don't see the rest of the second boot, gives it a little bit of three-dimensionality. So yeah, it was, and the design inside the boot, it's all very nicely done and loose and sketchy. Yeah, so yeah, well done.
Yeah, I agree with you about the design of the boots facing each other and one overlapping the other. I thought that was a really interesting design idea. It looks very balanced and it's a great starting point for her landscape and what she fills it in with. So yeah, that was really cool. I love that part. And it almost looks like it stands up, but I'm not 100% sure that it does, but it probably could if you bent it on an angle. It doesn't say that it's standing up, but it almost looks like it is, like it might be leaning against something for the photo, but it looks like if those angles were out like that, it would stand up on its own. So that's really cool. I love that one boot has the sun and one has the moon. That's a nice kind of contrast. And the cityscape, I love that. I think it looks really cool. It's you could read right away that it's a city. So the contrast of the country with the city is really interesting as well.
And I like the fly.
Yeah, the fly. We just noticed there's a little fly in the background. That could be part of the piece, but we're not
Yeah,
allowed to do mixed media. It's just a bonus.
yes.
Great job, Stephanie. Mark writes, for this wire art project inspired by the phrase, these boots are made for walking, I created 2 cowboy boot bangles, symbolizing strength and independence. Each bangle features wire-formed letters spelling out Nancy Sinatra, paying homage to the artist behind the iconic song. The dangling letter charms evoke movement, reflecting both the literal and metaphorical act of walking forward with confidence. The bangles represent empowerment with a nod to the bold spirit of the song. Here's Mark's piece without the display of the boots. So we have a chain with the letters dangling down, and it says Nancy Sinatra. And we're going to go to the next one. So we have one on one boot around and the other boot. I thought Mark's concept was really original. He had actually asked me if he can do a boot ornament, knowing that we weren't doing mixed media. But I said, as long as the piece stands on its own, which it does as a little dangly anklet or a boot ornament, I thought it was a really cool idea. And like I said before, it's always fun when people think outside of the box. And his description was really interesting, talking about the movement of the piece. It's always super interesting when people share their ideas behind the design and the concept. And the lettering's really nice. You did a great job. That A is really wonderful. The colors are good, very rustic colors that work well with the boot. Yeah, it looks great, Mark. And Patricia, what did you think of this piece?
Yeah, I liked the originality of the anklet. I liked how, again, the links were all a bit different. And I particularly liked how beautifully the letters were written in this curvy, cursive, very decorative font. So, yeah, I thought this was really well done. I really liked it.
Great job, Mark. Ashita writes, for this week's theme, these boots are made for walking. I made this boot. At first, I wanted to make a proper boot, but then decided to keep it simple as I like it this way better. As soon as I saw this week's theme, it reminded me of the old song by Nancy Sinatra, and I thought to make something related to the song, but all I could think of was boots. So here it is. Hope you like it. So here's Ashita's, and here's a picture of her wearing the boot. And then on its own, and then here's the detail from the around the heel and more detail with the weaving. Patricia, what did you think of Ashita's piece?
I thought it was really elegant and dainty, and I really liked the picture of the foot in the boot. The weaving looks really well done and grounds it on the heel and toe. And I really like that spiral pattern. And it looks a bit like a sleigh. Like your foot has gone into a sleigh and it can go for a ride.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was beautifully designed.
Ashita really took on an ambitious project. I think it's really interesting as an idea. I think it's really cool. It's not so much boot-like as slipper-like, but it's her own take on the theme. And I would have maybe liked to see a little bit more detail to make it a little more massive and solid, but definitely the concept is really interesting. I like the weaving around the sole. I think that's really effective to make a nice solid base to it. And the spirals, yeah, and you can't go wrong with spirals, eh? So that's a great way to fill in a piece and it gives it a nice sense of whimsy as well. And then the different tones of wire is really pretty as well. So great job, Ashita. Sharon writes, so these boots are made for walking, and this boot is no exception. With an open air sole, it can glide all day. The 24-gauge coiled upper sleeve cushions your ankle and is an excellent defense against those pesky insects that bite. To complete the look, a fashionable silver aluminum stirrup strap has been added, hammered to show where its silver spur can really spin. Enjoy the multicolored wire bottom shaped to your foot. No boot would be complete without the addition of the blue and red roses. The accent is just the right amount of pizzazz. Enjoy your new boot and have a nice day. So here we have Sharon. So Sharon sent some progress pics of her boots. So let's go through. And she's got all kinds of coiling. And there we have another view. It looks like it's almost three-dimensional because she's got two silhouettes of the boot that probably it stands up on its own. Yes, it does. So there we have that much, and then filled it in with the spur and all the details. So where are we at? And there's that one with sort of the sun setting in the back. So let's bring it up here. And I'll start with Sharon's. This one is super fun. I think Sharon had a blast making this. I think it's really cool. I love that it stands up, and she's done all kinds of different colors of wire twisted around the bottom, and then all that coiling to fill it in. I think that's really, really neat. She could have even gone right down to the bottom with the coiling if she had wanted to make it more filled in. But this way is interesting too. You can kind of see what's going on with the three-dimensionality. And the rose is really lovely too. It's nice that nice touch that she put the rose on there. You see the little humps at the top that really make it look like a cowboy boot. And the spur, I just love that. I think it looks great. It's maybe a little big for the piece, but it's super cool. And I love that it turns. It actually turns around, and she's got a lot of detail on there. It looks like the little wires are all twisted with wire, and the fact that it actually turns, I just think that's the bee's knees, the coolest thing. And Patricia, what did you think of Sharon's boot?
Same. I like the solidity of the top of the boot, and I really liked that the spur was oversized. I felt that added to the whole design. And yeah, the flowers are beautiful, those pops of color. And I like her photo of the boot sitting on a car,
Yeah, that was
giving the car
cool.
the boot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
yeah, very nice.
Great job, Sharon.
Lynn writes, "These boots are made for walking. This boot takes me back to my teenage years. Country music playing in the cassette player, bright flowers all around me as I dream about the cowboy boots I saw at the store uptown. The outline is 21 gauge antique copper wire, and the flowers are 26 gauge artistic wire. The dimensions are 3.5 inches high by 2.25 inches wide."
And then next we have Lynn, and Lynn sent one picture of her boot with the colorful flowers. So Patricia, what did you think of Lynn's piece?
It's a very simple, stylish design, and the simplicity works really well. I could see it worn as a pendant, and I do like all the little colorful bunch of flowers. It's just one of those designs where the simplicity of the design really works well. I thought it was very well done.
This one is very sweet, and it is a decent size. It's about 3.5 inches. So it could either be a large pendant or even a little sun catcher or an ornament. And I like the solidity of it. I love the design, very simple, kind of more rounded design, which is really neat. And she put a little double line at the bottom and a little extra bit on the heel. So it gives it a little sense of three-dimensionality as well. And I love the different colored flowers. They're so sweet and just a nice little pop of color, nice little detail. This one really has beauty in the simplicity of it. I think it's a very pretty piece. Great job, Lynn.
Lisa writes, "I made my piece with 18 gauge copper lighting wire and gold toned 20 gauge copper wire. My inspiration for the project is, of course, Nancy Sinatra and her famous Go-Go Boots. I adore that song, and it's a great song that is timeless. I love Elvis Presley and remember being a young child and watching her in those Go-Go Boots in Speedway."
Okay, so let's look at some pictures of Lisa's. She has a little side view there and the front view. And she has a rectangle frame with the words "Ready, Start" in it and a couple of pairs of boots. These are actually lyrics from the song. At the very end of the song, it says, "Ready, boots, start walking." So I had to look that up because I'm not super familiar with the song. I thought that was interesting that she included some lyrics in the song. I do like that idea. I think it's really an interesting concept. And the fact that she put two pairs of boots, so the ready is the boot standing still, and the start, it really looks like they're walking, sort of one above the other type of thing. So that part's very effective. I really love that she added words to the piece and that she has the two different positions of the boots. The boots are super cute, really, really simple and cute design. They definitely look like go-go boots. So Patricia, what did you think of Lisa's piece?
I liked how the letters were formed. They look like they've actually been written. They're well formed and nice and graceful. Like you, I like how the boots appear to have so much movement, like they're walking. They're nice and sketchy. They're just walking along, so it gives that mood to it. So yeah, well done.
Great job, Lisa. Thank you, everybody, for voting and leaving such great feedback. I am going to share all the viewers' feedback in the Facebook page, so be sure to check out the Live Wires for the Win Facebook page to see all the viewers' feedback. The viewers' choice for this week was Mark. Congratulations, Mark, for being the viewer's choice this week. And now comes the hard part. So we have to say goodbye to a couple of live wires. Originally, we were going to eliminate 3 people this week, but we've decided that it's going to be 2 going home this week, and then next week there'll be 3 people that won't be returning. So now we're going to share the 3 people that we are considering to not return next week. And as you guys know, even if you are not participating in episode 3, you still have a chance to submit your work based on the themes to have a chance to be the wild card participant in the finale. So even if you aren't returning next week, you still have a chance to continue, and you will receive an email with all the details about that. Patricia, who are the 3 participants that you are considering not to return next week?
Yeah, always hard. Unfortunately, Stephanie, Lisa, and Peggy.
Okay. And the 3 that I'm considering not returning next week are Stephanie, Ishita, and Lisa. So unfortunately, we are going to have to say goodbye to Stephanie and Lisa. Thank you, ladies, so much for your awesome participation. We've really enjoyed seeing your creations, and we hope that you're going to continue to submit your creations based on the themes for a chance to be the wild card participant in the finale. And now comes the fun part. We are going to choose the top live wire for episode 2 of Live Wires for the Win. So, Patricia, who would be your top 3 picks for the top live wire this week?
My top pick was Amy. My second pick was Laura. And my third one was Mark.
And my top 3 were Laura, and then Peggy, and then Sharon. So the winner of this week's challenge and the top live wire for episode 2 is Laura. Yay, Laura. Congratulations. And thank you to everybody for your amazing submissions this week. It's always so incredible to see how people interpret the theme and to see their beautiful creations. Thank you, Patricia, for always being a judge on the show since the very inception of Live Wires for the Win. And also thank you to all the viewers who gave such thoughtful feedback and voted for your favorite creation. Be sure to vote every Monday for your favorite creation. I always put the links in the community section of the YouTube channel. Be sure to follow Live Wires for the Win on Facebook. Like and subscribe to the Live Wires for the Win channel, and be sure to share with all your friends. Can't wait to see what everybody creates next week. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you the next time. Bye.